Hey resellers, thanks so much for tuning into today's video. Today is going to be a little bit different. We are focusing on education about not buying fake Louboutin shoes. So if you are new here, allow me a little moment here to introduce myself. My name is Rachel and I resell on eBay and on Poshmark, sometimes in person. And if there's one thing, if there's two things that I really love to sell, it is vintage and designer items. I feel like vintage and designer items have one great thing in common, and that is quality. You can buy a good vintage or designer handbag, pair of shoes, belt, outfit, whatever, and it is gonna last you so much longer than the cheap stuff that is manufactured today. So if it is manufactured today and is really high end, I like to sell it. If it is vintage and they're not making it anymore, things that are made out of wood, metal, and glass, I'm all about reselling those items also. But today we're gonna talk about Louboutins, which is obviously like the epitome of a luxury shoe, and how to spot fakes. I'm not gonna tell you what to look for in a genuine pair of Louboutins. I'm gonna tell you that these are fake, why they're fake, what to look for, and what makes these trash. So I am actually in the market for a pair of Kate 100mm Christian Louboutins in nude. I want them in a size 41. I scour around looking for them, but any pair that I've ever thought were authentic are definitely hundreds of dollars. I'm always looking around. I want a pair of these. And in my research, I see one common thread in the videos that tell you how to authenticate Christian Louboutin shoes. The people in the videos always mention eBay, and they mention eBay as if it is the place to go to buy fakes. And that breaks my eBay seller heart. You guys, we are not all trying to sell you fakes, I promise. But as an eBay seller, you have to do your due diligence, and you do not want to pass off a pair of shoes just because you are uneducated about the brand and you think these could possibly be real. You don't want to sell that to someone who's going to spend their hard-earned money on them, and then maybe they're uneducated about the brand and they wear them around as real. They sell them to someone else. These shoes live a life of being an imposter, basically. I want to break the stigma that eBay is full of fakes. I will tell you right now, eBay does not support selling fake or counterfeit or replica or dupe, whatever pretty word you want to replace fake with. They do not support that. If you see those listings, report them. eBay will take them down. It's not the place to sell fakes. If you buy something and you think it could be fake, don't sell it over on eBay. It is as simple as that. Stop spreading counterfeit merchandise. If you understood the underground and dirty businesses and industries that are tied to producing replica and fake goods, you would never want to support them. If you understood the child abuse that goes into the child labor to produce a designer logo onto a cheap plastic bag, you would never ever support that, and you would not have that cheap plastic bag on your arm. So it is much more than a replica, of counterfeit, of fake. There is an entire industry I promise you don't want to support. Research it on your own. This video is not about that. So it is about these fake Louboutins. So exactly how is it that I came to own a pair of fake Christian Louboutins in the first place? Well, a friend of mine, another reseller over on Instagram, had posted these and wanted people's opinion on whether or not they were authentic. Shout out to Matt Easy. He's a great reseller and someone that you definitely need to be following over on Instagram. I will link in the description below to his Instagram account. Give him a follow because he's always finding super dope stuff. But he found these in a local thrift store and he wanted to know, do you guys think that these Louboutins are real? Well, the first thing I noticed was the size, and they're my size, and they looked very similar to maybe a Kate, which is the style that I like, but they weren't the 100mm that I'm looking for. And I said, you have to send me more pictures of those. Did you buy them? Because I thought, man, if they are genuine, how much better would it be for me to be able to buy a pair, because I'm looking to purchase a pair from my friend. And he says, I did buy them, but I'm really skeptical about whether or not they're real. Pause, because I want to commend what he did and how he handled this, and how every single reseller on eBay, on Poshmark, on Mercari, wherever it is you sell, this is how you should handle it. He was uncertain whether or not these shoes were real or fake, and he is, as you should be, committed to not selling fakes. I am committed to not selling fakes. He was so committed that he said, I honestly think that these could be real, but I don't know where to start on them, and offered them to me to basically for the cost of shipping. He said he spent $7.99 on these at a thrift store, and if I would just pay shipping, I could have these shoes. So I sent Matt some money. He sent me these. Again, he wasn't sure, are they real, are they fake? And I said, what if they turn out to be real? Because some of the pictures he sent me, I was so confident that they were fake, but then he had sent a few pictures and I was like, I don't know, those could be real. This could be my chance. He said, I tell you what, if they're real, knock yourself out. You know, they're your size, like they're yours. So I paid for shipping, the shoes arrived. I did not even have these out of the USPS box and I could tell they were fake, but another reseller could not. Now, Matt knows shoes I do not know. He could authenticate a pair of Jordans and I wouldn't know what to look for. So that is the whole point and purpose of this video, is not to tell you how to spot real Louboutin shoes. This video is how to spot fake Christian Louboutins. So what do you look for? Okay, let's begin on first inspection, just the sole of the shoe, which is obviously the trademark of the shoe. On this particular pair, you can see that there is a little bit of wear here. You can see that the owner, whoever wore these, pivoted. One of the first things that is a little bit alarming is that these don't look like they were worn very much. They are pretty shiny, as a true pair of Christian Louboutins would be. They don't have a deep indentation here, but this is definitely indented. Okay, so here is one thing that I want to bring to your mind. Okay, so here is one thing I want to bring to your mind. I want you to look at this area right here where the L and the O are. Do you see how they don't touch? The L and the O should touch here. The C is definitely a part of the L, but these two should be touching. This is correct. This made in Italy is correct, and the sizing is correct. You can see deep indentation. All of that looks good, but this does not look good. Okay, so if you're going to try to sell Louboutins, then get familiar with how to spell the brand, get familiar with the logo, get familiar with the font and the spacing of the item. That is with any luxury brand. Gucci, the C's are almost circles. Louis Vuitton, the T's touch, or nearly touch, things like this. So these two letters should be touching. Another telltale sign here, and this was something that almost caused me to say just don't even send these shoes, but I thought maybe there was a very bad repair. Do you see this? I wasn't concerned that the tip was off here, but look how thick this red part is here. Look how this should be in a true pair of Christian Louboutin shoes. The shoe is constructed and then almost like a sticker, the bottom is put on. The bottom is a leather sole, but this is thick as can be. You can tell that that is not leather. So this was definitely a telltale. This should never be thick like this. And let's just peel this up and see. These shoes will not be resold, will not be worn. So it does not bother me even in the slightest bit to trash these shoes, because they are trash. So look back here at the construction. Look at the construction of this that was just placed on a cheap pair of shoes. This is way thicker than it should be. This is a terrible telltale about these shoes. And the more I pull here, can you see the quote-unquote leather, how the nude is just peeling off of there? Well, in one of these shoes, it's this one, it is peeling here as well. You're not gonna see that in a pair of $1,000 plus actual Christian Louboutin shoes. And while we're talking about that particular area, I want you guys to notice the threads here that are popped. Okay, so we have one thread that is popped and some threads that are doubled over. This stitching is super inconsistent. You're not gonna see that. The stitching on the exterior looks well spaced, so don't let that only be your visual inspection. On the interior of the shoe, there is stitching down in here that I want you guys to take note of. See how close these two pieces, we'll call this leather for the sake of argument, how close they are here and how there's a space at the bottom. A fake pair is going to look like that. You're going to see all these inconsistencies. And speaking of inconsistencies, inside, this is one of the very first things I noticed in taking these shoes out. Do you see how this is just laid over carelessly? This doesn't even fit well inside of the shoe. This is just laid over. On this side is actually coming up And then this one isn't much better. It's bubbled up at the bottom, which I have seen real Louboutins have a little bit of a bubble there. But these, let's just rip this out. Do you think $1,000 pair of shoes is going to look like this? You're probably not going to be able to just rip it out like that. And then these actually say something in there. I wish I could see exactly what that said. Look at this. Look at this. Okay, that's terrible. So a real pair of Louboutin shoes, the sole is, or the insole rather, is not going to be a piece of fake plastic. Let's look at these ones I haven't ripped apart here yet. The O and the L do touch here. And this was a photo I saw that I thought, I don't know, these could possibly be real. But upon closer inspection, why is this O so long? The spacing was good here. This was centered about where it should be. There were a lot of things that really checked out good with these shoes. The stitching looks very, very tight here. But we're obviously here to talk about what makes these fake. So let's look inside here. Do you see this glue? You guys, I actually laughed out loud when I took these out and I could see the glue here. If Louboutin uses any glue at all to hold things into place temporarily while they are sewed, you're not going to be able to see it after the shoe is constructed. You're not, again, going to be able to see this leather like paint, whatever, some acrylic thing just flaking off here. The shoe probably wouldn't bend like this. You wouldn't be able to see this type of construction. The silhouette is a bit off here as well. These are just a few things to look for, because if you see this in the thrift store, if you see this and you're me, you're gonna freak out, because this is exciting to see a pair of shoes like this. But guys, do your due diligence. Inspect these things. If something looks off, don't sell it. So in the photo, this material looked almost suede-like, which is in keeping again with the brand. But when I get it home, I can feel that this is fabric. There is not, I'm confident to say, there is not one piece of leather on this entire shoe. One of the things you can do if you want to start selling luxury products is to get familiar with what they feel like. What does leather feel like in your hands? What does cashmere feel like? What do you know, what does Chanel, what does silk feel like? Those materials, I promise you, those natural materials, you're going to be able to tell a difference in how they feel versus other products. So this is a huge giveaway. The glue, the stitching being so off, the material on the inside, the material all over the entire shoe, you guys. These are fake as can be, and this is the type of thing that ticks me off, because somebody sees something like this in the thrift store and they're excited about it, and they get online and they sell these as real, and someone else thinks they're getting a good deal, and they're absolute garbage. These are trash. Don't make the mistake of buying a product like this and reselling on eBay. You're giving the rest of us a bad name. Don't you dare buy a product like this and call it a bootleg or a replica or a dupe. It is fake. This is illegal to sell. The thrift store that sold these should not have ever even sold these. These are illegal to sell. You can lose your eBay account for stuff like this. This is absolutely not. They're trash. I don't care how they look from a distance. Up close, these are the things I want you guys to look for, because these are 100% fake. I kind of want to cut into these and see what the overall construction is like inside, because if you think that a company that would sell fakes would not sell a harmful product or something that is not good for your health, you know, things could be lead-based, they could be anything. I mean, they're risking a lot knocking off a company like this. So I just kind of want to see what the overall construction is on the inside of these. If you are not confident enough whether or not a product is real or fake to just cut into it, you probably shouldn't be selling it or not selling it. You can get shoes authenticated. This is just the cheapest vinyl, you guys. I don't even know if much of this is glued together or is stitched together. These are obviously stitched, but that's about it. These are so cheap. It is tragic that shoes like this are getting sold. This is what an authentic seller of luxury and designer products thinks about a fake like this. So let me just speak for every single eBay reseller that is out there, every genuine consignment seller that cares to authenticate their product. We don't want to sell trash like this either. I promise you there are reputable people that won't sell you stuff like this, and you can trust a good and reputable eBay reseller to absolutely destroy a product like this when it comes in. While it may seem a little aggressive to completely destroy a fake shoe like this on camera, I do this because I would never want someone to think that I received a fake pair of shoes, that I bought a fake pair of shoes for research, and that I would ever sell something like this. Speaking again on behalf of other eBay resellers who would never sell you garbage and trash, I just want to reassure you that you can find a pair of pre-loved shoes from the original owner or even from a reseller. And as resellers, there are many of us who do our research. The folks that are watching this video that gave this video a thumbs up are other resellers who are watching to educate themselves so that they don't sell you fake shoes. We stand in agreement to not sell fakes, and I have a few other videos coming out that I want to show you guys how to spot a fake Rolex, and I'd like to show you how to spot a fake Gucci bag as well, because I want you so confident in authenticating those items on your own that when you see them in the wild, you can either leave them knowing that they are fake, or you can pick them up with assurance. You can also have those authenticated by a third party. There are so many third parties. Or if you are still on the fence and you think your item's real but you don't want to sell a fake, you can send them off to companies like The RealReal, who are going to authenticate them before they sell them for you. Now, they do take a much larger portion and percentage of the sale than what eBay would. At a certain price point, Poshmark requires authentication of the items that you sell on there. There are so many ways to buy a good pre-loved item that is luxury, vintage, or designer, and know without a doubt that it is authentic. I thank you so much for watching this video. You guys like the video. If you liked the video, definitely consider subscribing and turn on bell notifications if you'd like to see when those videos come out about how to spot fake Rolex and how to spot fake Gucci. I will be destroying those products as well. Thanks again so much for watching. God bless you guys, and remember, treat your business like your business.